Actually, it would be the Incarnate fusion is here. All right, guys. Finally, he sleeps here with another Raid Shadow Legends video. The Incarnate is the newest fusion in Raid Shadow Legends, and this one, I'm going to be honest, this snuck up on me. I knew it was coming. We had the fusion warm up, and I've seen, we've talked about her for about a week. There was some leaks, but I've been so heavily involved in the Wixwell clan boss builds that I've kind of forgot about that this was going to drop today. So it dumped in this morning. The fusion is actually it's a fusion. So we have fragments and champions. So you have 4 epics that you need to fuse into the Incarnate. But to get those epics, you need fragments from the event. The calendar, this shouldn't be a fairly difficult one, but if you've used a lot of resources when Wixwell and you haven't used the 2-2 method, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, to put back your resources, this could be a difficult fusion to obtain. But this is one that, depending on where you are in the game and what you're looking at, this could be a fusion that you could skip. We'll just put that out there right away. I don't skip the fusions. I grab everything just because I can't not skip a fusion. So I will be claiming the Incarnate, but a lot of people are not going to be upset if they miss out on this one, depending upon what tier you are in the game. Now, if you're still using Arbiter in your arena, your main arena team, and you don't have a fully set speed tune team, then she could be a big bump and advantage to you, because the way she's set up is, it is an exact, she is a shield champion and a defense champion that works directly with Arbiter, which will bring into play, obviously, in the arena. But they're kind of touting this as like a HYDRA build too, if you use Arbiter in HYDRA. So if you're mid-game and Arbiter is one of your best champions, you're probably using her in HYDRA, then the Incarnate will definitely help you out there as well. But it depends. She's going to add utility to Arbiter and make Arbiter a stronger champion. So I like these duos. I like when they bring in champions where 2 work together. There's no added skills to Arbiter, but Incarnate has added skills when Arbiter is present. So let's take a look at it. A1 is just a provoke. It's a 1 enemy provoke, but it has a 10% chance of counterattacking when an ally Arbiter is hit. So whenever Arbiter takes a hit, you have a 1 in 10 chance that the Incarnate will counterattack on her behalf. Not the greatest thing. And it's an A1 provoke, but it's only for 1 target. It's not like an AoE provoke. So I understand why they're saying this could help in HYDRA, but it's kind of iffy. Her A2 is the shield skill. AoE, 75% chance of removing all shield buffs and 1 random buff from all enemies. It doesn't steal them, it removes them. And then it places a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns. Value of shield is proportional to this champion's defense. Because this is a defense-based champion, you're going to load her with defense, and then that shield will kind of come into play when you have it. So not only does she take away the enemy's shields, but she places a shield on your entire team in conjunction with that removal. So in arena, it depends. I mean, if you're coming away, I mean, in arena though, I think I deal more with stone skin than naturally shields. Definitely I see a lot more shields in tag team. This would help for a tag team build. It's kind of questionable. This may help in HYDRA more than Arena, but I guess it kind of depends on where you're at in Arena and what kind of champions and teams you're facing. It's an interesting skill because of the removal of the shields and the replacement. So you're basically kind of like stealing the shields. A3. 50% ally protect on all allies except this champion for 2 turns, and then a 25% strengthen on all allies for 2 turns. That ally protection and strengthen, that's a good skill. Now that's definitely going to help in Arena and in Tag Team and in HYDRA. This is a more important component. But I'm also thinking, like, if you're in Arena, I think everybody has the Pirate King in their Arena team now. So Armands, if you've got Arbiter, Armands, and now the Incarnate, you need someone to strip and weaken and decrease defense. I don't know. Yeah, there's no cooldown effects. There's no we're not slowing anybody down, but it does have ally protect and strengthen, which is huge and will help in things like HYDRA. All right, passive increases his champion's resistance by 20 for each ally under ally protect. Champion also receives 20% of the damage of any ally arbiters. If there are multiple champions on the team, the effect only activate once. If any ally arbiter is about to get killed, places an unkillable on her for 1 turn. Okay, so it basically gives her like Skull Crown's unkillable ability there as well. This passive, this is the main passive. Is that a skill? That's a 4 turns. That's a passive skill on a 4 turn with no cooldown additions. So it only works with the unkillable every 4 turns. But if we go to the main passive, increases champion's accuracy. When killed, resets the cooldown of the Destiny's Call skill for any ally arbiters. There are multiple champions on the team with the skill. The effect will only activate once. So the Destiny's Call is the arbiter's revive. So as long as this champion is killed once every 4 turns, she's automatically reborn like the Monkey King, because it's going to reset Arbiter's Destiny's Call, and then she's going to revive everybody. Yeah, I think this is all going to boil down to what your Arena team looks like as to whether or not this is going to benefit you. If you went all in on Wixwell and you have no resources, this is the best way to look at it. If you went all in last month on Wixwell and now you're resource dead and you are depleted and you're looking at this fusion like, ah, shit, I am not going to be able to finish this, then hold your resources for next month. And I say this very rarely, that this is a champion you can skip. But if you're mid-game, you have the resources, you're struggling in Arena, Tag Team, or you need a bump in HYDRA, and you don't have a reviver for HYDRA, this is going to make Arbiter a more HYDRA viable champion than a lot of us are using. Then if you've got the resources, by all means, go for it. So it's kind of a 50-50, this one. It's also possible that the reason I'm kind of so down on this is specifically because Wixwell was so good. It's like after Nut, Wixwell's the best champion since Nut, as far as the fusion goes. And then the same thing, after Nut, the next fusions were just like, because you start comparing everything to the last one. So compared to Wixwell, this thing sucks. The Incarnate is awful. But compared to some of the other fusions we've had over the last 6 to 8 months. The Incarnate's not awful. Not great, just not awful. All right, that's it. I'm Finally He Sleeps. If this helped, make sure you subscribe here on YouTube. Turn on notifications so you never miss when a video goes live. Till next time. Make sure you subscribe to the other channels as well. There's FC Mobile, my main channel in the middle, which is Gearheads, and then Cringeworthy for a few laughs, where we basically just make fun of the toxic alpha male and all that stuff. As long as you guys keep showing up, I'll keep making videos.